Here's one from PFT PM Posse, who can be sometimes counted on for good questions. Sometimes I regret that I read the question. Let's see how I feel after I read this one. A lot of players are represented by multiple agents, and players can talk to/negotiate with teams if they self-represent. Why doesn't a player co-represent himself along with an NFL certified agent, thereby allowing teams and players to talk directly and avoid BS tampering charges? Look, first of all, I just don't think it's possible. It's one or the other. It's binary. You either have to be represented by an NFLPA certified agent or represent yourself. You can't co-represent yourself with your agent. And that doesn't change the fact that, and we've heard these stories before as it relates to the Cowboys, where teams will talk directly to a player who is represented by an NFLPA certified agent. If I'm the agent, I'm saying, no. You don't talk to my guy. I talk to my guy. You don't talk to my guy. They'll like to throw the arm around the guy and, aw shucks this, and what the Cowboys do, the power of the star and all the money you can make off the field. You don't want your relationship with your client to be undermined by the team going directly to him. And then the team will try to play the client against the agent. It turns into a big mess. So it's just not possible to co-represent player representing himself plus agent. And I don't know that it would be a good idea if it was even allowed. Another one from PFT PM Posse. I didn't really regret the first one. I kind of regretted it, but that's okay. They all can't be winners, as Bad Santa once said when he was explaining the advent calendar to Thurman Merman that Billy Bob had invaded and eaten all the chocolate and replaced it with things like, I think, a medicine and what's that thing called? What's that little Halloween treat called? Why am I blanking? Candy corn. Candy corn. Why would I blank on? See, anytime I do that now, I think, is it starting? Is the decline, the inevitable decline of not knowing what my name is that beginning? PFT PM Posse, are we finally starting to see more and more straight up contracts that have little to no fluff/bullshit in them? Seems like less of them have the Fugazi BS years on them. If so, why now? I think that it's not any type of epiphany that anyone's had. I just think that some deals have Fugazi back ends and some deals don't. The Amon-Ra St. Brown deal has some stuff on the back end that pushes it to 30. It does. And the two big ones out there that are going to be a problem, the Tyreek Hill deal, which has a phony final year of $45 million to push the new money average to 30. The Alvin Kamara deal, which has a phony final year of $25 million to push the average to 15. That becomes an issue because the bigger the old money is, the harder it is to put together a contract with the new money average that gets you to where you want to be. And I don't want to bore everyone to tears any more than I already do, but just trust me on that. So I just think it's a mistake to do it. It completely warps the priorities. And I've had players tell me that all players care about is the APY, average per year. They don't care about state income tax. They don't care about cash flow. They don't care about guarantees. They just care about APY because that's one of the ways that the hierarchy in the locker room is determined. Hey, they were calling Jalen Waddle, both Tyreek Hill and Odell Beckham Jr. were calling him 28 after he signed his contract with a new money average of $28.25 million. They're aware of that. They're competitive about everything. When we talked about the gambling angle between Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors and the $10,000 goes to which of the two of them ends up being the offensive rookie of the year, you just don't talk about it out loud because they're competing about everything. They're gambling about everything. They are wired to be competitive. They want to win at everything. We've talked about that about quarterbacks in the past. Win at ping pong, win at pool, win at cards, win at Monopoly, win at shuffleboard, win at this. And I've made the point, when a kid is that way, we try to parent him out of that mindset. Jimmy, let the other kids win sometimes. You don't have to win everything. When it's adult, we're like, oh, this is an admirable quality. Oh, he acts like he's having a temper tantrum when he loses a game of Uno. So anyway, what's the point? Oh, yeah, I still think that desire to have massive APY is going to cause some agents and players to use the Fugazi contracts. And from the agent's perspective, it's the same thing. They use that to recruit more clients. hey, look what I got for this guy. Never mind the fact that it's bullshit and it's never that number and he's never going to make that number. Look what I got. Look what I got. All right. Scrolling through some of these, don't have a whole lot of time left. CJ Newman, which UFL player do you think should be signed to an NFL team? I don't know about should. I mean, Hakeem Butler, Wade Phillips made the pitch last week and said to Butler after the game, he's the receiver from the St. Louis Battlehawks. I'm going to call my people around the league and get you an NFL job. And I saw that a couple teams are interested. There will be plenty of teams looking at plenty of UFL players. Those reps give guys a chance to shine. Look at Jake Bates, who's going to sign with the Lions this week. He made 3 field goals of 60 yards or longer in the building where the Lions play their home games. It's opportunities to get attention drawn to guys who otherwise would not have those opportunities. So I think it's a good thing. And I guarantee you, if the NFL thought it was profitable, it would have a development league. But the NFL doesn't care about development. It doesn't matter. Why care? We got 53 roster spots, and the competitions get decided. Training camp, preseason, and into the regular season, go. You guys figure it out. We're not spending the money on a developmental league that we're not going to see profit from. If they thought they were going to see profit, they would have already had it in place. Connor Rutledge, which NFL matchup are you most excited to see this season and why? I was really jazzed up and still am, but not as much because it's not on Thanksgiving. I wanted the Cowboys and Texans game to be a Thanksgiving game. I thought that would have been great. Any of these Chiefs games against high-profile teams, the Bengals, it's early this year, which is good. Last year it was New Year's Eve, and Joe Burrow was injured by the time it happened. The week one, I mean, I know I'm a little shill here, but Ravens, Chiefs to start the season. The Chiefs are just fun to watch because I was saying this also last night on Pardon My Take. Unlike other dynasties, which will hit this groove where they're beating the hell out of everybody, the Chiefs always do it the hard way. The Chiefs always make it exciting. You know that Batman isn't going to die, but it's fun to watch the movie where Batman almost dies 20 different times. That's what makes the Chiefs so much fun to watch. And even though it feels like there's inevitability that they're going to win it all, I mean, hell, the floor for Patrick Mahomes in 6 years as a starter is losing in overtime of the AFC Championship. He's never done worse than that in any season of his career as a starter. So it's fun to watch their games. Black Friday, Raiders, Chiefs. It's just fun to watch Chiefs games. So there'll be other teams that'll be fun to watch this year and some teams we're not thinking about. But see, the problem is the way they do that scheduling, they make the bet on which teams they think are going to be compelling. So last year, when the Texans ended up being compelling, all those games were at 1 o'clock Eastern on Sunday, and we didn't get to see many of them. So hopefully a lot of the standalone primetime games will deliver this year. But anytime it's the Chiefs, it's worth watching. Jesse Drebbit. I recently watched the O.J. Made in America documentary by ESPN Films. Again, that came out in 2016. Since today is the 30-year anniversary of the Bronco chase. Is it today? Was it June 17? Where were you when it happened? I remember exactly where I was. My wife's, and we weren't married yet. We got married August 26th of 94. So if this was June 17, it was a Friday night. We were at her parents' house, which later became my law office. I bought their house and made it my law office. They moved from Clarksburg to Bridgeport, and they've lived in the same house there since 2001. But we're watching on one of those old, big, wooden, plastic, it looks wooden, but it's really plastic TVs with the cathode ray tube. And it was the NBA game, Rockets-Knicks, right? And split screen with the Bronco chase. And I just remember thinking, at the time, this guy's absolutely guilty. The only question is he going to kill himself at some point between now and the time they take him into custody? And they were concerned he was going to. And he almost got shot by the police because he had that gun and he had to give it up or they were going to take him out. So I remember that very well. It's just one of those things. I had a class one time in college, I think, that delved into the psychology of the way moments get burned into our brains collectively. When JFK was shot, when the Challenger blew up, when 9/11 happened, and this falls into that category as well. Anybody that witnessed that knows where they were, knows what they were doing, and you can almost like press a button and it starts to play again. All right, let's see what else we have here. Should probably wrap this up. Scrolling through. Sorry. Here we go. Nah, I'm gonna go. I'm passing that one up. Do you see the Steelers? This is Andrew Tate is the GOAT. Do you see the Steelers making a significant upgrade to the receiver room before training camp? Mark Caboli of The Athletic had written a week or two ago that they're likely to bring in a number 2 receiver before the season begins. The clock is ticking. I mean, you want to get the guy there before training camp starts. It's hard to get a guy up to speed. They're calling me now. I hate to do this. I got to take this. That's it for today's PFT PM. The McAfee Show is calling. Check me out there. Check me out at PFT. Have a great day. See you next time. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.